It's another edition of Time About the Movies, and today we're taking a look at the 5 films of October 17th, 2008. Once again, a wide assortment of movies to look at here. So let's just go ahead and jump right on into it. Let's start off with the biggest new release of the weekend, and that's Mark Wahlberg starring in the film adaptation of the popular video game, Max Payne. So totally looks like the video game, am I right? Also, why is it that Olga Kurylenko keeps showing up in these movies, and yet for some reason, every time she appears in them, she gets naked and nobody wants to have sex with her? I mean, we had it in Hitman, it's going to be in Quantum of Solace next month, and in this movie too. It's a weird thing. I mean, you have this beautiful-looking woman who's clearly trying to get naked and have sex with the leading man, but nobody wants to do it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the hell's going on. Is she a dude underneath this, like a crying game scenario? I mean, come on. I want answers, damn it. Okay, not really, but this is Max Payne. Hell-bent on revenge, Maverick Cock Max Payne, played by Mark Wahlberg, is determined to track down those responsible for the brutal murder of his family and partner. But as the mystery deepens, Max is forced to battle enemies beyond the natural world and face an unthinkable betrayal that will drive him to the edge of his own insanity. And as far as the film itself goes, I mean, it's not as bad as I think people make it out to be. I think Mark Wahlberg's doing a decent job as Payne in particular. Sometimes the action sequences can be pretty good, although there is definitely a lot of pointless slow-mo in this. Like, they were really padding the running time out on this puppy. And, hey, Mila Kunis was actually pretty decent in here, playing Mona Sachs, but there are some things that really do hurt the film overall. The rest of the other casting's kind of mediocre. There's nothing really great about any of the other performances in here. As good as the action sequences can be, the last one pretty much is ridiculous, funny, but also kind of badass at the same time. But it really does have a really bland ending that literally just stops as soon as they're done. It's just like, the movie's just like, I don't give a... Okay, we gave you what you wanted. See ya. And like that's it. Like they just took your money away, and now they're running away. Like you're waiting for something to happen, and the film just suddenly stops. It's just like, yeah, we've got nothing else to do here. So, yeah, this movie is not that great overall. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either. It's a fun movie. I mean, it can be fun in its so bad it's good type of scenarios, but it has a lot of mistakes. But I still liked it enough to say a partial recommendation on it. I mean, if you go into it knowing it's not the game, you can enjoy it for what it is. Some of it is very so bad it's good, but yeah, it's not as bad as people make it out to be, especially from this director who also would do The Omen and A Good Day to Die Hard. But if you could say that this is the best thing he's done as a director, that's not really a credible source to you personally. But anyway, that's my thoughts on Max Payne. So let's go ahead and move on to our next movie, and that is The Secret Life of Bees. So in 1964 South Carolina, you have this 14-year-old girl played by Dakota Fanning who's haunted by the memory of her late mother. And to escape her lonely life and troubled relationship with her father, T-Ray, she flees with Rosaline, played by Jennifer Hudson, her caregiver and friend. So Jennifer Hudson's basically playing the magical, mystical Negro Row in two movies in a row this year. They go to a South Carolina town that holds the secret to her mother's past. Taken in by the intelligent and independent Boatwright sisters, Lily finds solace in their mesmerizing world of beekeeping. They're played by Queen Latifah and Alicia Keys. And this is a movie that was kind of a sleeper. Nobody really knew it was coming, and when it was a hit, no one really expected it to be as big of a hit it is. From the point of view from me personally, when I looked at it, it was just kind of like, yeah, this is one of those movies that's clearly begging for the Oscars. And when I saw it, I was just kind of like, I didn't hate it per se, but I could definitely tell it's awards bait stuff. I mean, the performances overall are very good. Queen Latifah is doing pretty good in here. A lot of really good talent all across the board here. Sophie Okinoto is also in here. Paul Bettany, directed by Gina Prince Bythewood, who would do Beyond the Lights and most recently The Woman King. So there is talent all across the board here. There's just nothing about it that really makes me say it's something you want to check out in particular. But, like I said, not a bad movie per se, but not really a great one either. Most of the performances carry the load in here, but that's really all I got for you. It's been a while since I've seen it too, so I don't know if it's gotten worse or better as time goes on, but I don't know. Me personally, I just thought it was okay, So with that said, let's go ahead and move on to our next movie, and that is, we're getting to the good stuff now, starting off with this next film here, the last great film I think Oliver Stone did, and that is Josh Brolin as the then current president, George W. Bush in W. selling you right away on a really damn good trailer featuring What a Wonderful World and all the people involved in the movie. You see Josh Brolin as the president, Elizabeth Banks, James Cromwell, Ellen Burstyn, Ian Grufford, Richard Dreyfuss, Scott Glenn, Jeffrey Wright. I mean, there's a lot of really good people in here. Tandy Newton as Condoleezza Rice. This is Oliver Stone's take on the life of George W. Bush, chronicling his wild and carefree days in college to his military service, to his governorship of Texas and role in the oil business, his 2000 candidacy for president, his first turbulent 4 years, and his 2004 re-election campaign. It's a film that honestly kind of came and went. It didn't do that well with critics overall. Audiences were kind of mixed on it, and most people didn't think Oliver Stone could handle a biopic about a polarizing figure like George W. Bush, even though he's pretty much done a pretty good job of other presidential biopics. I mean, Nixon is probably the best example of it. I mean, he made Richard Nixon seem likable, which is something that's hard to believe and actually makes it feel like it makes sense. But then again, you have somebody like Anthony Hopkins who can make that work. JFK was another good movie about a president, even though it was about his assassination and the conspiracies behind that. And I thought he did a pretty good job with this movie. I mean, yeah, he doesn't go for all the necessary punches that needed to be there, but he does just enough to make it very enjoyable to watch. I think Josh Brolin fits the role of Bush here very well. Everybody's playing their parts well to a T. And kind of like with Eagle Eye a couple weeks ago, the first half of the movie I think is really good. And then the second half, it starts petering off a little bit. Like, it really kind of loses its muster overall. And it does get kind of repetitive and boring by the time the movie ends. But it never gets to the point where I would say it's a thing that ruins the movie in general. I think the first half really is the strongest part of the movie. But the second half overall is okay. But it definitely felt like it could have been a whole lot better. It felt like there was much more stuff that could have been added into there. And I thought it worked very well for Oliver Stone. I mean, like I said, this was the last movie he made that I thought was really one of his better works. Because after this, every movie he made after this was definitely not as successful or as good as his other works. I mean, this is the last time we saw peak Oliver Stone. I mean, he's got the same writer who wrote Wall Street too, so of course he's going to go out on at least a good note here with this film. And it does come up to a good film overall. It definitely is a movie that could have been enhanced with a much better second half, but I liked it. I thought it was actually pretty good for what it was trying to do. I think it's a very underrated Oliver Stone movie. It's one you should definitely check out. It's one I would highly recommend checking out. Just be prepared for the second half to be much less than the first half was. I mean, it's a good movie overall. So that's what I say about W. Speaking of movies that were kind of overlooked when they came out, on to the next movie, and that is the sex comedy Sex Drive. Yeah, believe it or not, this is actually a much better movie than the trailers make it out to be. The trailers make it look out to it's your typical raunchy teenage sex comedy, which it is, but this one I think is actually one of the better ones, honestly. This is a movie where you have Josh Zuckerman, who plays a high school graduate who goes on a road trip to have sex with a girl he met online, who's played by Katrina Bowden from 30 Rock, and he's got his buddies with him, played by Amanda Crew, who's his girlfriend slash not friend, because yeah, she really does come off as kind of a bitch in this movie, because she keeps cock teasing him and playing him like hell all throughout the course of the movie. And then you have Clark Duke, then of Greek fame, starring in the film, and you see the little cameos by James Marsden, Seth Green, David Koechner's also in here too. And it's a really good, funny movie directed by Sean Anders, who mostly hit and miss as a director, but he's been pretty good as of late with stuff like Instant Family and Spirited. He also did, didn't he do another movie that I thought I like the first Daddy's Home. I thought the first Daddy's Home was good. Daddy's Home 2, not so much, but I like the first one overall. Yeah, the film itself, it's your typical sex comedy, but I think the cleverness of it is definitely more in there, because the young actors in here are really playing their parts very well here. Clark Duke and James Marsden are very funny. Seth Green's very good in his bit part too. I like these characters. You want to go along for the ride and want to see this guy complete his mission. And I thought it was just a very fun film overall. It's a very silly movie. It knows that it's not going for anything too dramatic or too engaging overall to make it stand out on its own. It's playing it very well to a T, but yeah, it's a movie I really enjoy. But if you're gonna watch this movie and there's an unrated version of the movie on there, I advise you not to watch the unrated version, because that's an unrated version where It is one of the worst looking unrated editions I have ever seen in my entire life, because what did they decide to do in this movie to push this to an unrated level? The movie features 20 minutes of additional footage and just random CG shots of male and female full frontal nudity. Like, it's so bad that you can literally see the green screen that where these people are running back and forth from when these scenes come up here. Like, this feels like a version of the movie where, like, they were obligated by Summit Entertainment to make an unrated version after they had already made the movie. And it's just like, well, shit, everybody's gone home back to their regular roles and jobs. We don't have the time to do this. Just go call some random Playboy bunnies, Playgirl play dudes, and just say, hey, come down to the stage and make $20 an hour for the next couple of hours, so we can take this, because we need nudity in this movie. I mean, it literally feels forced in. Like, you have to watch this. I would say watch it for once to see how badly CG everything is with those unrated scenes in general that they throw in there. I mean, they force them in there, and it's one of the worst looking unrated cuts of a film I have ever seen in my entire life. I would honestly say, one time watch it, just to see what I'm talking about, and then never watch it again, because that's what I did, and it was the smartest decision I ever made, because this film works well on its own. Just don't watch the unrated version. I mean, the unrated version is absolutely awful. Awful. So, with that said, let us go ahead and move on to our last film we have here. Barry Levinson's film with Robert De Niro. What just happened? No, seriously, what just happened there when I said that name? I don't know. I lost my train of thought there for a second. But the movie is called What Just Happened, and you follow the week in the life of a powerful Hollywood producer played by Robert De Niro as he juggles negotiations with a studio head so that his news picture can open at Cannes in 2 weeks. And you have a high-strung director who has to make edits to the film, with an actor and his agent becoming the star because the star has arrived on the set of a new picture with a full beard, and his most recent ex-wife, Kelly, who discovers he might have a lover. He also notices that his 17-year-old daughter from another marriage has been crying. What's up? Can Ben keep it all together, get the green light for the studio to go to Cannes, move his new picture past the beard crisis, and maybe return to Kelly's good graces? More like, can Barry Levinson return to his former graces? Because, man, this movie is all over the place, and not in a good way. It's fitting, too, that this is opening, that we're talking about this on the same Sunday where the new Barry Levinson, Robert De Niro film, The Alto Nights, opened up in theaters not too long ago, just this past Friday. And, yeah, this movie, I'll tell you this movie definitely does not look that great overall. I mean, the trailer even looks really cheap. Like, you could tell that this was an independent film, and they didn't even try to make it seem like it was intended for the big screen in general. Like, the sounds feel very chopped up. I mean, the cuts really don't feel like a real trailer edit overall, and unfortunately, that's the ebb and flow of this movie in general. I think the film overall really just kind of fell apart pretty quickly. It's one of those movies where, they think, you think this is going to be a biting satire of how Hollywood works. But no, it's a safe and marketable satire. Like, Hollywood would like to see these movies, but they don't want these movies in particular to really be as sharp and satirical as they can be. They don't want another version of The Player, because how dare you say that Hollywood is corrupt and all that type of stuff? And because it is. Yeah, Hollywood can be corrupt sometimes, and things go on behind the scenes that we're not supposed to know about that should be known in movies like this. But this film, it just doesn't work. It's a film that has so many good people involved in here. You see Robert De Niro, Catherine Keener, Robin Wright Penn, Stanley Tucci, Moon Bloodgood, John Turturro, Sean Penn, Bruce Willis playing himself in this movie. It just doesn't work. It does not work, and it just really felt... I was bored watching this movie, honestly. With all these people involved in here, I expected so much more from this film, and man, I was let down big time by this film in general. It's not a very good movie, but on the plus side, you get to see Bella Swan 1 month before she stars in Twilight. Kristen Stewart's in the movie too. I forgot to mention that, but besides that, there's really nothing about this movie that should be viewed at, so... Yeah, what just happened? A bad movie just happened. You can avoid this one. So on that note, we wrap up another edition of Time About the Movies, and the next time we meet, we'll take a look at 5 more movies, including High School Musical 3, Senior Year. After 2 successful movies on the Disney Channel, Disney said, let's put the third and final film on the big screen, because why not? The girls will come on in. Maybe the guy is and the guys too on their dates, or maybe the gay guys too. Who knows? But High School Musical 3 gets to the big screen next time, and Saw 5 is its main competitor. Also, we have Colin Farrell and Edward Norton starring in the crime drama Pride and Glory. Clint Eastwood stars in directs a new film for Angelina Jolie, one of his 2 films this year, Changeling. And we also have, if I can find that last one here, there it is, an international horror film, Let the Right One In. So 5 films overall to take a look at. We'll take a look at those movies coming up tomorrow on the show. So definitely be on the lookout for that. With all that said, though, thank you so much for watching. And if you want to see more videos like this, please go ahead and hit that playlist on the next page. Check out the previous episode. And also, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, notification button, and the bell. That's where you get updates on when new videos come out. We do post new videos here every day. So with all that said, I'm off. I'll see you guys next time. And until then, as always, take care.